Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you don't feel good now. Real good.
Time to get real and time to change it up. Welcome, everyone, to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and I'm so excited about today's show. Today's show, unless I have callers, which you're all welcome to call in, the call-in number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. You're welcome to call in because today's show is about change, and today's show is about changing instantly with a snap of your finger, with a clap of your hand, with a blink of your eye, with a tap of your foot, changing instantly. But before we get into our show, I want to welcome all of my new listeners. The list is growing, my audience is growing, and thank you so much for listening to Reality Spirituality. Reality spirituality is a term that I use to dissect our everyday life experiences, what happens to us throughout the day, what are our circumstances, situations, our interactions with people, with loved ones, with family, with coworkers, all of those external interactions, everything that happens to us, there is an underlying reason for it. Everything is in order, and this show dissects all of the shit that happens and breaks it down to the least common denominator. The least common denominator to discover why we're not as happy as we could be. Now, that word happy is a word that I'm not going to discard it, but this is what I'm going to do. This is part of it. This is part of the change this week. Instead of saying happy, I want to switch it up and talk about another concept that we've discussed on the show, and that concept is it's not a concept, it's a truth, is our personal vibration. Our personal vibration, and I'm talking about an internal vibration, which actually is the same as an external vibration, but it's our vibration. Jesus, I don't know why I'm making it any a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. But happiness is actually a man-made concept. It's a man-made concept, but you can feel it when I say happiness. It's an internal feeling. It's not just because you won the lotto, and it's not just you're not happy just because you found your soulmate. That's not the happiness I'm talking about. I'm talking about an internal happiness, an internal peace. And so I'm gonna switch the word up, and I can still use happiness to. I will still use happiness to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, but what I really am going to focus on is our personal vibration. What is your personal vibration? So this show, Reality Spirituality, discusses strategies, ways, tools to take this personal vibration that we all have, and it fluctuates throughout the day. It goes up, it goes down throughout the day. But the purpose of this show, the purpose of Reality Spirituality, is to develop skills that will enable us to maintain and hold on to that personal vibration, that vibration of internal peace, where it's not going to rock our boat. As you know, everything is energy. Everything outside of us, inside of us, everything you see, the universe, is all made of energy. And energy can be measured. And all energy vibrates at a certain frequency. And that frequency is the vibration. You can feel the difference between being happy and being sad, being resentful and being angry, being bitter and being joyful. It's easy. It's easy to feel. And with that feeling, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you to decide how you want to feel. What I learned this week, and I am not going to take credit for it, because you know what? I am going to take credit for it, and I'll tell you why I'm taking credit for it. One of the things that I am is a seeker, and I'm always looking and searching for ways to simplify my message. People that are on this path of finding the truth about who we are, why we're here, our purpose. And I came across a young man this week. I don't even know what I was looking for, videos and spiritual teachers, spiritual masters, blah, 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 blah. And I came upon a young man, and his name is Panache, Panache, Desai, Desai. And you can just go to YouTube and look for his videos. He was on Oprah's Soul Sundays. And he has his own website, www.panachedesai.com. And I have to say, listening to this young man, listening to his interview, I spent the whole interview just glued to my seat. It was like it was one of the most fascinating stories that I had ever heard. And the reason why his story was so fascinating, because it was so honest. And you can tell and you can feel that he came on this planet with a distinct divine purpose. But this is what I really got from listening to his interviews. And this is funny because he was making fun of spiritual people. He actually said that if you want to find the most judgmental people on the planet, and he wasn't being mean, if you want to find the most judgmental people on the planet, look for those people that are into spirituality. Oh my God. And I'm like, what? He's talking about me. You know why? Because spiritual people, they walk into a room and they are hands on the hips and they're saying, look at me, world. Look at my 16 beams of light. I am shining at 16 beams of light. You're not shining. You're only shining one beam of light, 2 beams of light. But look at me. Look at how bright I am. I'm connected. I'm spiritual. I'm. It had a little bit of an arrogant energy to it, how he was describing those people who just happened to be me. God. I'm thinking, yeah, I do walk around. Well, let's say I did. I did walk around for years. I am at this level of spirituality. Oh, you other people, you're here. Look at me. I'm on the top of the mountain. And so the interesting thing is I had to recognize that was true. I had a little bit of arrogance to my resume, shall we say. And that stopped me in my tracks, because this is the second thing that he said, which left my mouth hanging open. And that was, you know why they're like that? It's only because they feel like they, are insecure and they feel like they have to be better than someone else. Check, and double check. So with all of that information, I'm thinking, am I really? But even more fascinating, 2 weeks prior to me finding Panache, I had been wrestling with, picking up on people that I judged as arrogant. Oh, please, I had a list. And the universe says, and the universe teaches, and it's very plain. It's very true. If you look at anybody and you see something that you do not like in them, whatever it is, oh, they're lazy, oh, they're arrogant, oh, they're cheap, oh, they're lazy, oh, they're stupid, oh, they're whatever you look and point a finger to, anyone else, guess what? You have to own that. Because the only way you recognize these traits in other people is because you own it. You are it. You can't recognize what you aren't. That was number one. So I was, the week prior, I was, trust me, looking at people, and this word arrogant kept coming and staying in my head. And lo and behold, guess who was the arrogant one? Me. But I say that this is something else that I really, really got this week. These judgments, I'm going to speak for myself, the judgments that I had on being happy, feeling, being sad, my judgments of arrogance, my judgments of what's good and what's bad, all judgments are man-made. I actually thought, and listen, you can go back to any of my past shows, that getting angry or being sad was something that I did not want to do because it lowered my vibration. And listening to panache this week in some of his interviews. This idea of lowering vibrations or raising vibrations, that's also man-made. It's just a vibration. This label, putting labels on what is happening, putting labels on anything, actually kept me stuck. So I'm here to tell you that the last few days, I am not putting labels on anything. God doesn't put a label on anything. One of the reasons why I suffer, let me use the word suffer, or am irritated, or am or not feeling like I would love to feel, is because I resist anything that happens in my life. Resist. I was on the phone with my mother this week, and she, sometimes mommy can say some things that like fingernails on the chalkboard, and I was feeling it. I didn't say anything, but I was feeling, the words, and why is she saying that, and why is I was getting frustrated, and the reason had nothing to do with my mother. I was resisting what she was saying. I put a label on what she was saying, and as soon as you label it anything, then that takes you to a different place. I'm here to say that as of the last 3 days, my thoughts, my behavior, my words, I'm not going to label good, bad, higher vibration, lower vibration. It's all it's an illusion, is what I'm trying to say. We, every single one of us, all of us are divine. We came here, we are here. We're divine just by the fact that we are here and we're breathing. We are a creation of God, of the universe. The universe created us and put us here and brought us here at this time because the universe wanted to experience this time, this place, this through us, this experience through us. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes that's happening in this world because this is God's creation. This is the universe's creation. Are you telling me that the universe didn't create this perfectly? So with that in mind, it's not about sharing and teaching my audience about raising a vibration or lowering a vibration or getting angry, bad, being happy, good. It's not about that anymore. It's about recognizing who we really are. We are divine creatures, every single one of us. Every single one of us is divine. And we are all on our individual path. We were all on our individual path to discover, live through what we are supposed to. We only have problems, and I'm putting my fingers up as quotes, we only have problems when we resist what's going on, when we resist our divinity, when we resist who we really are. Can you imagine if you really, 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 really knew and felt and embraced that you are divine? Can you imagine really knowing that and having a problem with anything that happens? It's all in order. Everything that happens is here for a reason. Specifically, everything that happens to you, everything that happens to me, has a purpose. Whether you and I can understand it is something different, but I know that purpose is for our betterment. And so if we're struggling in our lives, it's only because we're resisting what is. We're resisting what the universe created for us. And let me say this. Because we are divine, do you think that whatever happens to us is not supposed to happen? Let's just take the story of whether you believe in, it has nothing to do with being an atheist or believing in God, but take the story of Jesus. Look at all the shit he had to go through. But what was the purpose? That was a divine purpose, and we all were the same. Jesus understood his divinity. He got it. And I'm beginning to understand mine. And I'm really, really relaxing this week. If I sat and did nothing for the rest of my life, well, I got to go to work. I have to pay the bills. I would be okay. Now, whatever the universe inspires me to do, I'm going to listen more to my into my internal voice, and if I'm inspired to write, I'm going to write. If I'm inspired to speak, I'm going to speak. But other than that, I'm going to sit back in this huge universal limousine, if you will, and let the universe drive. And let the universe take me in whatever direction I'm set up to go. It's time for me to kick my feet up on the back of the chair, hands behind the head, close my eyes, deep breath, and start breathing through this life. As any change of perspective, I don't have this 100%. I don't have it 90%, but I sure do like the way it feels. I like the way it feels, knowing I'm divine, knowing that that I'm here for a reason, and a greater reason than I even realize. So why am I trying to? I must be here for. Why am I trying to take the steering wheel from the universe? Hey, let me drive, universe. Let me drive, uni. Does that even make sense? I'm giving it up. I'm surrendering. Total surrender. Oh, and if I happen to have a little arrogance throughout the day, or if I happen to get irritated throughout the day, that's going to be okay too. One of the things that this young man, Panache, taught was there's no such thing as negative energy. My mouth flew open. What do you mean there's no such thing as negative energy? Yes, there is. I've been teaching that for years. Of course there's negative energy. Everybody knows that. That's spirituality 101. But negative is another label. Another man-made label. There's just energy. Okay. So my question to you, audience, is, are you able to let go, totally trash concepts that you have been teaching and knowing and talking about and feeling and for years? You know what it is? It's kind of like looking at the sky and saying, I know the sky is blue, and then switching it up. Nope, the sky's not blue. The sky's red. That's just an example. Not a real good one either. But anyway, my point is changing and evolving and growing forces us to let go of thoughts, concepts, perspectives that just don't work anymore. And that concept of me having negative energy and there was negative energy, you know what? That worked for me for a long time. That worked for me for years. Oh, I could spot negative energy from across the street. Oh, look at him. He's got negative energy. Look at that person. I'm going to cross the street. I don't even want to be in the same room. So believe me. But the interesting thing that I found is the truth feels lighter. The more I look for the truth, the lighter I felt. Letting go of that suitcase, letting go of that baggage, that of negative energy, that's one less thing I have to think about. That's one less concept I have to analyze and talk about. I love it. I love letting go of bags, of suitcases and bags of things that, you know what? I didn't even realize it was heavy. I'm not even going to say heavy. I didn't even realize I was carrying it. But no. So my new thing is, my new way of just being, at least for today, because who knows, tomorrow might change, is every morning I am, which I do, I get up, I go outside, it's dark, it's still dark, and I just stand out. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the street. Nobody's there. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I just put my arms up and I just say, universe, give me this day. Give me your day. Just surprise me with whatever you want to bring, whatever you want to put on my plate, whatever you want to put in my lap. Just surprise me. I'm there. I'm going to enjoy the ride, whatever it is. And one day last week, I was really into it. I'm like, give me something really good, like the 4th of July. Yeah, come on, universe, bring it, bring it, bring it. And on that very day, is when I discovered this Panache Desai, the young man I've been talking about who's being interviewed, and I welcome you to find him on YouTube. Panache, Panache, Desai. Just Google him or find him on YouTube and enjoy his interviews. Oh my goodness, it changed my life. And so that one day when I asked for all of, give me 4th of July today, universe. That's the universe's way of giving me 4th of July, letting me know I am divine, and I am divine just because I am breathing, just because I am here, just because I am living on this planet at this particular time. I was chosen to pick to be here at this time, and so were you, my dear audience. You are divine also. And can you imagine if you knew that and you embraced it and you felt that do you think God has a list of things to do? It's embracing who we are. And this is the other interesting change. Because all of us are divine, I look at people differently now, and they're here for a reason. Everybody is here for a reason. Everybody, this is a piece of. We are all pieces of this grand, beautiful puzzle. And Panache says the same thing about. He talks about a rainbow, and how can you have a rainbow and you take away the color blue? We're all here, all of us, and we fit into this beautiful puzzle, and we're this beautiful rainbow that God has created. So how can anything be wrong with God's creation? Now this is the real kicker. I have been giving the ego bad press for years. Ego has nothing good to say. The ego, what a jerk. The ego wants you to feel bad. The ego has no good news, but I'm not taking the credit for this. Panache even had nice things to say about the ego. And this is what he said. I can't take credit for it. He said that without the ego, we might not be showering. Without the ego, we might not be wearing clothes, or we might be dressing in the wacky outfits. So everything that was created and everything that is has a beautiful, beautiful purpose. Including that ego that I have been bad-mouthing for decades. Sorry, Mr. Ego. So are you with me, audience? Are you ready to just enjoy this ride? Are you ready to accept that you are divine and your enemy is divine and your neighbor that you can't stand is divine also? Are you ready to really accept that? Are you ready to accept that? I mean, if you're divine, the person across the street has to be divine too. Are you ready to accept that and know that and live that? I am. And I wanted to share that with you, audience. I wanted to share my week with you. You can contact me by emailing at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. info@RebeccaNorrington.com. Check out Reality Spirituality Facebook page. Like the page. You can also check out my website. It's www.RebeccaNorrington.com. And I would love your feedback, not only on today's show, but whatever is going on in your life. I'm going to be interviewed on Wednesday. Of course, I'll post it up on our Reality Spirituality page and also on the website. I'm going to be interviewed on Wednesday. And also on Wednesday, I am going to interview the famous author, world-renowned author, Tim Ray. So that's going to be this Wednesday. Check it out. I'm really looking forward to that interview. Tim wrote a book. It's called 101 Relationship Myths. But again, we are all on this journey together. We're all on this journey together, and my mission is to share what I've learned to bring me to another level of internal peace. That's what this show is about. Reality Spirituality is about discovering this place where we can go and stay and be internally a peaceful place, and let the bombs and let the everything fall around us, and let it fall in the order that it is, and let us be okay with what's going on. Because if you're okay inside, you're definitely going to be okay on the outside. That's all we have time for in today's show. I want to thank you for listening. Feel free to email me again at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. And if you'd like more information on my coaching programs I'm offering, please visit my website, RebeccaNorrington.com, and go to the Private Sessions tab. Until next time, just remember, my dear audience, one of the greatest gifts from the universe is your ability to choose. In any situation, in any circumstance, or even in any relationship, you and you alone can choose how you want to react and how you want to feel. You can get angry, but let's take the judgments away from being angry. No judgments here on anything that we do. So you and I can begin choosing how we are going to spend the rest of our precious moments on this planet. Our internal foundation, our internal vibration, our personal vibration, we can choose that. We can choose to nurture that. We can choose to expand it. We can choose to be at peace with everything and anything and anybody. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you next time.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Get real. time to get real.